Good morning, grasshoppers. It's time for an E4 repertoire stream. Let's do that. Yesterday we added a daily stream to the D4 repertoire because every game
Now
began
Ernst
with
said, "Good morning, Sensei."
good morning. No words. How are you, Johannesburg? Do I dare castle, then play queen e2? Or do I play queen e2 right away? Let's play queen e2 correctly right away. How are you, buddy? How is the weather in Johannesburg? Are you so far south that it's becoming winter?
Now Ernst said, "I am good today, and you?"
As it's becoming colder for me, I was just curious if it's becoming colder for you. Or if you are so far south, I don't know, I'm trying to picture where the equator is. I believe it should be becoming summer for you. Just a guess. Interesting. We are going to just proceed with very little caution. Really? Takes.
Now Ernst said, "No, it's becoming warmer for us. The weather is nice, blue skies, not too hot."
Just curious here. As we are attempting to bother our opponent to no end. Now we're going to continue to bother our opponent. Oh, really? Is that the story? Interesting. He has knight to g4, and I don't have an adequate defense on that. Or do I? Well, I don't really want... I just sacked a pawn for no reason. Interesting. Well, I'm going to continue as though life is normal. We both have isolated pawns on d4 and c7. Yes, bishop takes d4 is an interesting move. Could our opponent be up to here? We're just centralizing as fast as humanly possible. That is our primary goal at the moment. Just centralizing as fast as humanly possible. Attacking, defending, defending, attacking, attacking, defending, and defending, attacking. We are streaming. What's up? You look so cute. Sure. All right, just a brief moment with my daughter. Absolutely adorable, priceless she is. So now, what is my opponent's plan? And now, all part of the plan, folks. All part of the plan. I wanted a rook on b8. I got a rook on b8.
Said, hello.
All right, so I know where I'm going to go when I retire. I need property. I need a house in South Africa. That's what I need. I'm hoping the internet is good there, yeah? It's just like any other first world country. So a good friend of mine, Matthew Thomas, good morning. How are you? Taking advantage of, I'm not entirely sure he took advantage of the right thing. I think he did a little bit of a miscount there. So my good friend Palbenko would, oh no, it's going to get worse for him. It is going to get worse for him. I'm going to take that free rook. My good friend Grandmaster Palbenko, the person that was made it possible for Bobby Fischer to become world champion. Should we? Yeah, we're going to keep attacking. We're going to triply attack the C7 pawn. Somehow we're up an exchange, and I am going to capture. Oops. Small threat of mate. So my good friend Grandmaster Palbenko, he would travel to South America for the winter months, for 6 months of the year, and he would usually return to New York City at the first sign of spring for the summer 6 months of the year. So for him, life was summer all the time. What do I wish to do here? I'm going to remaneuver my my Knigget. I'm very lucky that it's not too bad. I'm up a whole rook in an exchange, so where are you headed, sir? We are going to keep up the attacks, the assaults, the bothersome moves. But not allowing too much counterplay. Focus on those weaknesses. The pawn on f7 cannot be defended anytime soon. We're going to just maneuver our way back to you, babe. And then we finally got to it. We got to the business at hand. I thought he was going to play bishop takes b2, overworking my rook. Valeria Olamarty, you played a pretty solid and good game for a good period of time, I admit. I think we just got a little carried away with the Berlin. Just a little bit carried away with the Berlin. We have more Chess Informant 160 streams, by the way. Chess Informant 160 streams. The idea being that Chess Informant 160 will be our vehicle for reaching 2300. I really do need to break down my study plan, as I was reading the latest article on poker players in New in Chess magazine, by the way. Now, I'm probably discontinuing my subscription to New in Chess magazine because it's owned by chess.com.
Matthew Thomas said,
But
I am Lightning God 07.
I remember, sir. I suspected that. Thank you for confirming it. I remember from previously. So yeah, New in Chess magazine is an amazing full-color item, but it belongs to the Empire at the moment. So therefore, I may or may not cancel my subscription and only keep the subscription through the school. But there's a great article on 4 spectacular female chess players. It does exclude Almira. It does exclude Alexandra Botez for some reason. I take it back. It's only 3 female chess players. Nemo, Almira Skripchenko, a
Matthew
European,
Thomas
who also played pretty well in this year's World Series
I
of
am
Poker.
Lightning God 07.
And Jennifer Shahade, who we already know about. Indeed you are. I, however, am not a chess god. I wonder how many games in Chess Informant are played by Hans Niemann. He is all the rage for searching and studying, so therefore we should give him some consideration. "38 games in Chess Informant played by Hans Niemann."
Shaken, not stirred.
Not the current Chess Informant, mind you. But overall, namaste, Stranger Bullet Cod. Thank you for joining the dojo. Namaste for the follow. So Hans Niemann's journey began in Chess Informant number 152, with just an honorable mention, I believe.
Stranger Bullet Cod. Thanks for following.
He was black against an English, and I'm going to check. Where are you from, sir? And we now have the entire game. Now, let's see if we can find this notation. I've always wanted to do this. Merge these 2 games.
Matthew Thomas. Thanks for following.
Thank you for following Matthew Thomas. We got you on both ends. That's awesome. We're up to 9 follows. Is this true? Subscriber alert. We do need the subscribers. Absolutely do need the subscribers on YouTube. You may check out my memorable games. Hold on here, I need to save this game that I just amended. Alt F-A. I need to change it to the mega database. And Alt F-A. Put it in that one as well. Then I can close Chessbase for today. Informant number 152. Yeah, Hans Moknieman got an honorable mention. I did not see that the game was decisive, unfortunately. I mean, which direction the game was decisive in. I think Hans Niemann may have won it. Alright, so what opening are we playing today? Basically, if I want to follow through, then we are going to have to pick a theme and stay with it. We're going with the Grunfeld. So today it's going to be E4 and Grunfeld, so that everyone knows what to expect. And now for something completely irrelevant. Don't know if I want it. I think I have to play it this way just to save. Just to equalize the pawns in the center. We're missing a pawn in the center. This seems like the only way to do it. Basically, white has 2 center pawns, which constitutes a microscopic material advantage because those 2 pawns in the center are worth more than the flank pawns in value. Yes, that's right. The bishops are worth that much more than the knights for a good portion and in certain positions in the game. And the center pawns are also worth that much more for a good portion of the game. We're just going to continue on our merry way here. We did not get rid of our opponent's center pawn, as it turned out. Fine, fine, fine. Delilah. So let's see. Are there any tactical tricks? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to try for a tactical trick. If at all possible. Bum 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 bum. All right, here we go, and we are off. Yes. Now. We're attacking a pawn, he's attacking a pawn. And now for something completely irreverent, we are going to go on the counterattack. The counterattack. Yes, that is correct. We are going to go upon a little bit of an attacking spree. So now we have achieved, to a certain extent, exactly what we wanted. Can I? Am I at all worried about this? I am, of course, worried. And now, how do we continue this menagerie of centralization? Because our opponent let us. And now, where is the queen going? I don't know. Getting to be a bit of a mess here. Just a wee bit of a mess. Bishop takes, knight takes, rook takes. You're getting that pawn anyway. Now we have it down to a very grindable. A very, very grindable.
Kingslayer Sloan said, John.
Yes, sir. How are you, Sir Rogan?
Kingslayer Sloan said, how's you, sir?
Got a bit of a cough that's been prevailing for weeks, if not months. I'm going to return these two microphones. Go back. All I need to do now is put $1,000 cash in there.
Kingslayer Sloan said, WWLL do take care on the health front.
Yeah. How are you fixed for tonight? I can't remember what the next, I think I have it fixed for tomorrow night at the moment, or do I have it fixed for tonight? I have AW chess today at 4. What do I wish to do with this guy? Knight e6. So if I play rook f5, he has e4, e5, e6. So I have to go in this general direction,
Kingslayer
regardless
Sloan
of what happens.
said, I can do an episode today my time around normal time.
Sounds great. I don't see us having been scheduled for today, but maybe. Let's strip him of all of his faculties. And so rook takes. Let's just move. We will just move. Can I? Oh no, I sacked a rook. Oh no, Jacob's got me. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I forgot that I sacked a rook. I didn't look at his queen placement for whatever reason. I did not consider it. Ye gads, everyone. Well, we can't chalk this up as a good Grunfeld stream, that's for sure. So knight takes d5, bishop c4. Magnus Carlsen plays knight to b6. That should be good enough for me, but knight takes c3 has a better winning percentage.
Kingslayer Sloan said, it's happened to me Totazi as well, back to the training.
Back to the training, eh? So b takes c3, c5, all well and good. b6. b6 should be considered. Gowan Jones plays c5. Gowan Jones Gukesh. Interesting. That did not prevail against Gukesh. This is a Gukesh opening variation. Interesting against the Grunfeld. Interesting. So meanwhile, make sure that the training hasn't started. Now was c takes d4 the natural move? Queen c7 makes sense. Keeping the tension. That's what I missed. C takes d4 is probably the worst move I could have played.
Kingslayer Sloan
Let's get an opinion on this
said,
one.
John, you can post Twitch stories.
I can. I have not.
Kingslayer Sloan
How do I go about it?
said, you should try it out.
Yeah, when I was commenting earlier, I mentioned how much I
Kingslayer Sloan
wanted to eliminate
said,
the 2 center pawns,
Twitch
and I'd be
mobile
down
app.
material. So somehow I survived all of this to get to that end game that should have been relatively almost equal. Wow, here? Rook c1 makes sense. Just eliminate the possibility of any danger. Rook to c4 I did consider rook to e7, but h5 created a further weakness, and he had knight e5. And knight takes g6. Queen to b3 just to reinforce all of our protections. We shouldn't lose king and rook and 4 versus rook and 3. I'm just down a rook here. There's no perpetual check. I had a wild hair up my butt, and I thought I had a perpetual, and I had nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Problem is that after bishop d6 he has queen c3 check. That was very clever of him. I'm choosing the brown background option because of our wallpaper, by the way. I'm going to eliminate our backdrop and our header somehow. I haven't decided how I'm going to limit it. So meanwhile, where are we? Today was supposed to be an e4 repertoire, yes. So we're going to give recommendations for white against the French here. I'm a big believer in knight c3. I'm a big believer in e5. I'm also a big believer in fast development. I'm also a big believer in the old Steinitz variation, absolutely equal. If they put pressure on this pawn, I must play. But he has pressure on f2, so I need to be able to castle. Pressure on f2, must be able to castle. I love the Harry Potter-esque name, Ominoso. So now he's got pressure on f2, pressure on e5, and after I move my bishop, he's going to have pressure on b2 as well. And since he has pressure on b2 and f2, there's one very obvious move which many players attempt. They always try queen to b6. But not to be. So how are we going to do this? I'm going to get castled on the queen side and amuse myself here as this pawn moves forward. Avoid any funny business here on the f4 square. And now for something completely irreverent. Not entirely sure how he's going to go about this, but we're going to start cinching down on the dark squares on the king side, possibly with bishop h4 if needed. The knight takes, queen takes, bishop e4 is now real. Should we wait for b4 to be played? Can we improve the idea of knight takes d5 with the idea of knight takes? Let's try it straight away. Pawn takes, rook takes, queen check kind of ends life very quickly. Alrighty then. This does not stop us from all of our previous intentions, right? Because we were going to play e6, yes? No? Maybe so. He took pressure off of e5. We get to take pressure off of worst comes to worst, we may have to bail. Ominoso. Ominoso peligroso. Guarding the knight, threatening a small microscopic threat, pressuring d5. This is a true test of our playing ability. Black has not managed to improve all of his pieces. King safety, control in the center, and the activation of all pieces. AC plus. Somewhat important though, somewhat absolutely important if you're going to become a super strong chess player. Ruh-roh. I don't know how this stops what is being threatened though. The square is still available to us. This square is available, that square is available. And we can always recapture if we like. And he had to play pawn takes on the top of that. He couldn't recapture with the knight, he had to play pawn takes. Which basically means that if he had to play pawn takes, then queen f7 check, king e6, queen takes e6 check. The king had to go back to e8 because we had the help of the bishop. And after queen f7 check, king d7, rook takes d5 check, king c6 is forced. The knight is pinned to the king. The bishop is covering the dark squares once again. And then worst comes to worst, we play rook takes d8. That's pretty sad. Let's see where we went wrong in the opening while we have time. Let's check it out. e4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3. Many players opt out with this extremely passive don't hurt me chess move. Don't hurt me chess will not get you a winning position with the black pieces, so therefore you have to be very assertive in these positions. You're either playing the winnower with bishop to b4, or you're playing knight f6. In this case, against knight f6, we are playing e5. And we are developing our pieces as rapidly as possible, activating all of our pieces. We may give up the center for just a moment.
G and John will leave you tabbed.
Good night, Rogan. Thank you so much, buddy. Cheers and ciao. See you in 9 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, 6:30 this evening. I'll move the Sunday French Bishop chess cast, or I'll move last night's chess cast to tonight. They're very rudely having to move because we need to make a living calendar items. So here we are. After knight c6, we cover this. Queen to b6 is played, f6 is played, a6 is played, h6 is played. And of course, bishop to e7, which is an extremely passive move. So therefore, my opponent chose bishop to b6. This to me is a new move. I don't think anyone has ever played it against me before.
Making a living is a pain.
So it gets in the way of our chess. It's really annoying. When the students want to move, and I can only apologize to you because they didn't know what day of the week it was in Taiwan. Sad. They did want the lesson on a Friday. They just didn't want it on their Friday night. Which would have been my Saturday morning. It would have been during my stream, so maybe they were being considerate. Maybe they knew that I couldn't do it this morning. Oh. But their Saturday morning would have been my Friday morning. Or Friday evening. I don't know. I've lost count. I've lost count. One more time with where Google Calendar saves us. So black is actually slightly better in this position, and bishop g3 was a little annoying. What was I supposed to do? Just continue forward with h4, h6, yes. I wanted him to castle before I did that, but he never castled. So h4, some players have played this. And mostly bullet chess. Let's get back to our analysis. I do want to save those guys. What about this position here? Vishy King 64. Anand plays on Lichess. And he lost the black side of this. Can you imagine? Vishy King 64 played this with black on Lichess. Yeah, bishop e4 was really lame on my part, right? b5. So h4, they should be playing bishop a5 straight away. And then h5 is this consistent follow through. And if they play b4, am I just playing knight a4? Oh, of course, I can still play this way. This is actually what I wanted to play. What was I thinking? I always have the e4 square. We'll always have e4. We'll always have e4. The idea being that after d takes, bishop takes, we have a discovery on the queen. And we have an attack on the knight, and they cannot both be defended because of the pin. The pin is there for the win. So b4 was never a threat. I was actually playing against the idea that I needed to do something with my knight c3. So I played this rather lame move, bishop e4. And in this e4 repertoire French, things have gotten out of control. Queen f3, and I'm actually decisively better now. And this does not help. And we talked about many things. Well, so queen f7 was mate right away. King d7, queen e6. King e8, queen f7. It was the same thing without me giving up my bishop. Oh, because of this. So silly of me. It was like practically a discovered mate. It was check, check, forced back, check, up, rook takes d5, check. King must move. There's only one move here for him. And now I have a wealthy choice of mate and fives. Whether the king goes to c7 and gets checkmated from behind. King takes d7. This is the most poetic. Rook to d1 mate. I almost want to save that mate in one. Where is it? Share and export. I do want to save that one. So in this particular position, okay. And testable holding. Position saved. Now for the moment of truth. E4 repertoire against a really good player this time. Khan. I really wanted to try the other variation today, but we're going to go with the main line, just because I don't see what he has against this. This, to me, when you're a stronger player, is the most difficult line. Yes, I like the Panov attack against lower-rated players. But when I'm facing someone who theoretically could be a stronger, higher-rated player, now he has to consider all of his options to be able to win with the black pieces against someone who could be much stronger than their rating. Who has the white pieces. Now this is the number 2 guy in the tournament. This is a huge game for the standings. The air conditioner just clicked on. I don't know how many of you can hear that. If you can hear that. So I'm adding South Africa to my vision board. That's what I need up here. I need a vision board. What in the world is going on? Only now that he's played bishop to b4 am I going to push e5. And now for something completely irreverent. We're going to get our pawn into the game. Or rather, we're going to get our bishop into the game. What in the world? Queen takes, pawn takes. I don't think it matters which one I do first, to be honest. So how do we get our pawns moving? I believe we get our pawns moving this way, or are we willing to accept an equal position here? I don't think so. This is going to be a race between the center pawns, which should be stronger. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Should we, or should we not? And now for something completely irreverent.
Kingslayer
No
Sloan.
foreplay.
Thanks for subscribing.
Kingslayer Sloan, MD Knight Zero, namaste, sir. Thank you so much. Uh-oh. So do we have a weakness or do we have a strength? I'm not getting rid of it so easily here. Am I? It's true. He can capture. But MD Knight Zero, namaste, sir. How are you? Gifted 6 times this month. Out of your way, sir. I have missed you. How is the family? Hopefully all is good. What in the world is going on? We need to keep threatening, keep attacking. This looks good.
Knight said, "Good man, I'm at work now."
Are you at work? Which hospital are you at, if you can possibly tell me? I feel terrible for asking. So is this pawn going to be a threat, or is it not? So let's just say for a moment that I play...
Knight said, "We'll touch base with you for a lesson once I review my games appropriately." What's going on here? We can hang on for dear life. That's what we can do. We are going to hang on for dear life. We are going to pretend as though nothing is happening. Check, 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 check. Check your boob. I don't have much of a choice here. So now, rook takes is mate, right? So, he is threatening me here. I have to decide whether his checkmating threat is bigger than my checkmating threat. Whose checkmating threat is bigger? The age-old question, right? So, he's got rook to b2 check, king e1, rook takes g3. So if I have no response, he always has this check, that check, everywhere check, check. So my choices are rook to a2, allowing c3. No? Yes? Maybe so. And now, if he gets a rook to that side of the board, what does it all mean?
Oh, I had that move as well. Shoot Saruskis. I had that move as well. Literally nothing I can do if my opponent is willing to shake hands. That's interesting. Tried my best, everyone. I tried my best. I feel like I did have something in there, but he had something in the end, and his something in the end forced me to give up on anything that I had left remaining of my something. C'est la vie. How's our soundtrack doing, everybody? Everybody's okay with the music? Empty Night Zero, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Chris. Oh yeah, I apologize. I realized we're on stream. I can't just ask you. Alright, so as part of a Grunfeld repertoire, we could assume that white is playing e3 on move number 2 or move number 3. So let's just continue with our repertoire in this fashion. We're going to fight for the center.
Pegasus Sway said, "It okay today?"
Really? You're going to let me do that? This is a very normal Grunfeld pattern, but he did not play the normal Grunfeld pattern move. So we are going to take the outposted knight as advertised. This is what we wanted. This is what we're going to get. Even at the sacrifice of a pawn. Because our opponent's king hasn't castled, he has that option. Now we can just play for the removal of well, he could have actually taken on e4. Now that we know it,
he could have taken on e4. And he got us there. So we have managed to leave our opponent with a dark squared bishop. And we're going to leave him with a dark squared bishop permanently. Going for a minority attack, a pseudo minority attack on that side of the board anyway. Let's compensate on the other squares for our missing white squared bishop. And if he's willing to exchange rooks. First and foremost, is he willing to exchange rooks? Well, I don't know what's holding that up. But he did free up his bishop. I'll give him that much. Freed up his bishop. We now have a massive pawn majority. I still don't see how you are attacking that so easily. So rook takes e1. Bishop takes e1. Pawn on f5 is still not being attacked, right? We can exchange once. Perhaps we can exchange twice. Check on our messages real quick. We should check to see how many Botvinnik games are in the chess informant. That would also be very, very interesting. Right? Okay, so now there's less pressure on this, just as much pressure on that. We are up a pawn. So therefore, we are not averse to any exchanges.
Knight takes rook to e3. Are we allowed to do this? I don't know. This seems pretty crazy. Bishop takes e3, f takes e3. Not the same as knight takes queen. No, not at all. So we did approach it from a Grunfeld repertoire perspective. We did manage. It wasn't a good Grunfeld repertoire, but it was a good attempt. He has to take back with the bishop, obviously. Now, how do we dive in here? I'm a little concerned. Let's just start attacking on that side of the board. What do we have? What do we have, ladies and gentlemen? We're just improving our position. It is a rook and knight versus a queen. Just a minor, awkward setback. King to g7 probably could have been even better. But it is the same but different. H5? H5 was also an option? Wow. I didn't realize that H5 was also an option back there. Fascinating. Fascinating, Captain Kirk. Forced? We don't have to win this one. We have another 90 moves or so before we have to really capitalize on this.
Interesting. Yes. And now can I walk that way? Knight takes knight to e5 check. King moves. And the winner is I see. Oh no, dude, what did you do? What did you do, dude? You let my king in. And bishop moves check. Oh, okay. 2 pieces for a rook. Is it enough? They didn't want to play that. What can I do? Yeah, that was going to be a 90 move grinder. We announced that one early on. A Magnus Carlsen special. I don't really believe that we were winning throughout that game at all. We will go back and we will look at it.
Pegasus Sway said, BD2 then NE1 made.
Was my king that poorly placed? No. I did see 91 winning the queen. BD2 91 with the rook on f2.
No more foreplay.
Namaste. Namaste, Scotty. Thank you for subscribing.
Scotty, thanks for following.
I am FIDE trainer and National Master John MacArthur. I do appreciate your support. As of Thursday, I have been teaching chess for 4 decades, so this is 40. I literally come up with this plan to walk my king all the way around, right? Yeah, queen c2 was speculative. I was going to give up my queen for these two, but he has a forced draw here. There's nothing I can do, and I don't believe in this position. There's nothing I can do if he just parks his rook on this square. And I am, in fact, mildly concerned that his king can walk in and clobber me. So it says queen c2, and I'm microscopically better, but for reasons very difficult to ascertain. So in this position, I probably have one chance to get my bishop to the other side of the board. And try to lock up. This side of the board, scarf this pawn, etc., and so on. Again, microscopically better, but he plays bishop e1, and Ron said, so bishop d2.
Pegasus Sway
No.
said, looks good.
I always have king e4 though. Bishop d2, he never quite has knight e1 made. I'm always
Pegasus
escaping.
Sway said, no k4 missed that.
Yep. Alright, e4 repertoire today. This is the study stream. e4 repertoire. Oh no, Robert FP. I've never finished negotiating with Robert FP on regular training. This summer was a very good time to do it, actually. Is Robert FP here? He is here. If we Oh, so he's actually quite a good player, Robert FP. USCF membership experience. Originally ranked 2000. And we'll go back. We'll go back. Now that we've woken him up, he might have gone for coffee. As much as always true. So these real boards. Robert, where are you, buddy? Let's go back to the main boards and see if we can watch some other games just for a minute or two, because we can honestly give back that minute. Lightning God, Matthew Thomas versus Jacob H. I don't think I survived Jacob H. I think I made some frisky maneuver in order to try to win the game, and that was very excruciatingly silly of me. Ridiculously silly of me. Now the invasion on the light squares. Knight takes e6. I mean, even if queen e7, knight takes e6 works. Starting to get a little ugly, unfortunately. We might have considered queen takes f8 check and then knight takes e6 check, because this leads to the same thing. Oh no, not that. Not the Botez Gambit. I'm so sorry, Lightning God. Check on our game. Robert didn't make it back from the facilities or the coffee break room. That's what I should do. I should turn this into a real office space. Take out the sofa. Take out the sofa, put in like a mini bar. Chess tables. 2 chess tables perhaps. A mini bar. Coffee station. Make a kitchen out of this area. Would that be possible? How many places have kitchens on the 2nd floor except for rental apartment complexes?
Fascinating.
Matthew Thomas said, today is there a simile?
No, I think I have a lesson immediately afterwards. I'm checking my messages now. Looking forward to this amazing lesson. I actually have a few different things coming up. I have to write down these things for him, actually, now that I think about it. Going to do all 11 games from the World Student Team Championship in 1955, where Lombardi won it 11-0. No draws, no losses. Cyrus Lakdawala has a lovely book out on the zone. Or it's called In the Zone. It covers Fabiano Caruana's monster score of 7-0 in the Sinkfield Cup. One of those Sinkfield Cups. And of course, there's the possibility of... Whoops, I'm typing in the wrong one. I can't believe that I'm number 2. Who was it that I drew to get to number 2? Ah, Bezda. He was 2300. Bezda's 2300 indeed. Better keep that off the warmer as it's... What do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? What do we have? Ron Hay is going to take him down, but how? We're going to need the help of the F-pawn. I was actually thinking King H3 could have been better. But was that an option? No, we had a fork problematic possibility. So he had to take care of that first. Does not bode well. F5. F5. We need to get it moving. F5. We can always do this later. We cannot allow rook to C3. Not a big fan of rook C3. No, bishop. I guess so. This is still a problem, ladies and gents. Still a problem. Oh, there's another possibility just now arising, but we're still tied down, or are we? Maybe we could have transferred our powers. Oh no, 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 no. I don't know if this was the right thing to do, though. I think we should have played, but we still couldn't play it. Yeah, no, I think that I don't know about it yet, but I think the original problem stemmed first from the fact that we defended against a threat that wasn't real. If he checks us, we are going to defend. But maybe, just maybe, our passed pawn is not as strong as his passed pawn. So Ron is correct. We have to keep the rooks on the board. And in this position, bishop to e6 keeps our rook free to go after pawn on the h file. So for example, after bishop e6, h4, rook to e4. Gotta anchor that bishop. Who's a little passive here. What? That's it? It's over? No! I can't believe it. This is just wrong, I tell you. Cannot believe it. Absolutely cannot believe it, ladies and gentlemen, that it's over already. I slipped to third. Did Ron have a chance in that game to draw it? What ended up happening? Ron does like these hedgehog positions, but this position is very good for, or very okay for black. And this is an early position that I studied in the old modern chess strategy from Ludwig Pachmann days. You have these two pawns that are isolated pawns. They're mutually isolated pawns.
but whoever's pawn is under the greater pressure has the worst pawn, and it happens to be Ron, our erstwhile friend Ron at this moment. So we're losing the pawn, and our opponent, they returned it. Wait 1 second here. So instead of retreating, we needed the bishop on the king side. Preferably f3, according to the engine. That makes
Pegasus
sense.
Sway said, the tournament over. That was not chess game number 500 today.
Oh no. I know, Ron. Where is Ron's name? Let's just hover over it for a moment. We are at 499 games versus each other. This is like much better than Karpov versus Kasparov. Alexa, how many games have Karpov and Kasparov played against each other in tournaments?
From chess.com. These two chess legends played a total of 144 games for the World Championship, out of which 104 were draws, 21 wins for Kasparov, and 19 wins for Karpov.
Well, thank you very much. How many times did Garry Kasparov compete in the Olympics?
From ushersjams.com. Kasparov played in 8 Olympiads over his career, losing only 3 of 82 games, and winning 19 medals, including team gold in all 8 of his appearances.
Now that's a statistic. Who is the world's most famous chess genius?
Here's an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. Albert Einstein. His name is synonymous with genius, and to this day he is considered one of the greatest.
Not the most
scientists in the
famous
world.
chess genius, but the most famous genius. That was a little bit of a non sequitur. So here we are for Ron's game. Oh no, we lost. We trapped our own rook, dude. Did we get away with it? Oh, we did get away with it. Well, we didn't get away with it. And that is where we lost the exchange and that piece coordination problem there. So let's see that debacle happening now. Yeah, that was not the ideal move. Ah, queen to b6 is a very clever move. I'm sorry, queen to b5, threatening check and winning the queen if the dark squared bishop chooses to go somewhere else. So do we have a choice? We can't recapture with the rook. This is what he was considering. I tell you, queen to b5 is absolutely devious. Absolutely devious. We never really recovered from it at all. Never really recovered from it, no matter what we did. We had a whole bunch of moves that flailed about, but it wasn't to be. How is our battle in the Offerspiel team going, Ron? Where are these guys? 544 members. So for those of you who don't know about Offerspiel, it is the Magnus Carlsen Chess Club. It is a physical entity. That means that they have a physical club. Have you been to Offerspiel itself, Ron? So let's see here. The team standings. Am I in second? I think I'm in firm second. Viking is so far ahead of me, mainly because he's played at least
Pegasus
75 games.
Said. No, never in Offerspel.
How far away is it from you? If you were to drive, would it be 6 hours? I mean, I have a hard time with the perspective of these countries from Sweden and where you are in Vaho versus Oslo, Bergen being down and over, Malmo being further down, Trondheim being all the way up. I have a pretty good visualization of Oslo geography, and Gothenburg is almost directly west of Oslo, I believe. Maybe southwest. Southeast, sorry. Southeast of Oslo. I've taken the bus from Oslo to, so Ron is in a reasonable top 10 position with 2 tournaments. What's up with that? Tomorrow will be my 6th tournament, so I'm going to catch up by 1,000 points. Best tournament finish. So I have Viking. I have him on that edge, basically. I need to play the
Pegasus
French.
Sway. Said.
The Villador, the
7
Bank.
hours to Oslo.
But the Offerspiel Chess Club is in one of the suburbs of Oslo, right? I don't see directions to the club. Ladies and gentlemen, Oslo. I can't believe I got Ham Viking with the Halloween Gambit Ron. The moment the Knights came out, he said after the game, I knew that the Halloween Gambit was coming. But he just thought he didn't have to lose. He was up a piece for the entirety of the game. When you click on these, it should bring up the game in which you earned it. I wonder if he can do that. So we can see who did it and who did not. Right? Rabievich? Usain Bolt, I have not yet checkmated in 10 seconds or less. Winning 10 games in a row is extremely difficult. It can be done, but I need nobody to show up. Like literally nobody. I need to be able to beat the same person over and over again for a real adoption. Beat a title player, this is not happening so easily for me while I'm handing those out hand over fist. So everyone has an 800 point advantage on me. Dancing Queen, moving the Queen 9 times in the first 10 moves and winning. 10 moves or less, I'm not sure I can do that against the average person. But I will try. Play 100 games, win 60 games. I need to see
Sway.
if...
Said. Yes, I now John 800 XP.
Yeah, everybody gets that one on me. So, I don't have a chance. So Ham Viking, of course, has the title breaker because he beat me. He also has the marathoner because he's played 6 tournaments.
Kirby Suya.
And he's played 75 games.
CHEAP viewers on UK Minute 2 XYZ8TFK.
Seriously? So this is why I have the... Oh, he's already banned. Did you ban him? Who banned him? Oh, I did ban him somehow. I did manage to take care of business in that particular instance. So as it turns out, tomorrow we will be streaming this
Pegasus Sway
sixth tournament.
said, "Too bad there are so few players in these competitions."
That's why we have to promote it. We have to promote it as an extension of our clubs. Our club, my club. I almost think that given the fact that IRL has recovered, we almost have to sell the extended memberships more cheaply. The long distance memberships more cheaply. And there has to be a lot more advertising. He has to advertise 30 minutes before the hour, before the event, not 1 hour before the hour. So, two things that we need to do. We need to be able to click on the games, on the awards in the games. Puzzle streak. I have to play it this way, right? I can't allow night takes or that was a no-brainer. Let's just finish this up. Knight takes check. I don't have a choice here. Oh, I cannot do that. But we don't want to go to that square. This is the only square. Actually, we can't go to this square. Oh no, we need to keep the attack on the bishop. Oh well, c'est la vie, everyone. Let us raid our good friend. Wait a minute, where did everybody come from? And I am happy to say that Anamaya is a friend. Whenever we had a tournament together, we do manage to get out and about for at least a dinner. Last in Reykjavik, it was at least 2 dinners, maybe more. We were able to eat and hang out with each other. I was very thankful that they are so open and receptive. It is very cool. She is studying with an over-the-board DGT board. Oh, the fellow that I banned is not really a viewer. So let's run the credits. We will be doing an instructional stream as fast as humanly possible, hopefully. Just narrowing this up so that it's balanced between the two. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. We will be back with Offerspiel / Hans Niemann / In the Zone streams from Chess Informant 160. I want to plug it out there one more time, especially in the YouTube. Cheers and ciao.